I never imagined letting her go would feel like this. So hollow, so strangely serene. Elena. Even saying her name aloud feels like tracing a wound that won't close. Are you sure about this? I asked, my voice quieter than I wanted. Elena looked at me, her green eyes steady but unreadable. I think it's best, she said. We're too different right now. I clenched my fists, forcing a calm I didn't feel. Different doesn't mean we can't try. She shook her head, a small, sad smile tugging at her lips. We've tried, and we've broken ourselves enough already. I can't… Break me? I interrupted sharply, my pride flaring. You think walking away fixes everything? I'm not fixing anything, she said softly, almost whispering. I'm trying to survive without dragging you down with me. I wanted to argue, to grab her hand, to make her stay, but the truth hit me like ice. She wasn't asking for permission, she was deciding for herself, and somehow I couldn't stop her. Fine, I said finally, my voice tight. Go, leave, if that's what you really want. She hesitated, eyes flicking to mine, searching for something, regret, anger, love, maybe a bit of all three. Then she stepped back. I'll miss you, she admitted, the words heavy but steady. I'll miss you too, I said, louder than I meant, my chest tightening. There was a pause that stretched between us, filled with every memory I'd ever had with her. Late-night talks, coffee spills, stolen kisses in empty corridors, laughter that made the world feel smaller, moments I wanted to replay forever. Promise me something? She said suddenly, her hand hovering near mine before she pulled away. Anything, I breathed. Don't hate me and don't stop living, she said. I can't promise that, I whispered. She smiled faintly, a touch of the old Elena I'd loved so fiercely. Then she walked away and I let her go. I remember standing there watching her disappear down the street, feeling the weight of every choice we'd made. My mind raced. Could I have done more? Should I have fought harder? But pride, stupid pride, had always been my companion. I convinced myself it was for the best, even as my heart argued otherwise. I muttered to myself, voice swallowed by the night. I'm letting her go calmly, but it doesn't feel calm at all. The wind brushed my face, carrying away the echo of her footsteps. I should have felt relief, freedom, but all I felt was an aching emptiness, like a room I used to live in had been stripped bare. I replayed our last conversation endlessly. Every word, every glance, every silence. It haunted me. But I told myself she needed this, and somehow I would survive it too. Then came the hardest part, pretending I wasn't broken while knowing I'd carry this regret forever. Pretending that letting her go was a choice I could live with. Pretending that my calm was real. I leaned against the wall of our old apartment building, hands in my pockets, heart still racing. And for the first time I admitted it just to myself. I loved her, I still do, and letting her go, maybe that's the worst mistake I've ever made. The night settled around me, quiet, unyielding. I let her go calmly. I told myself I was ready, but deep inside I knew I wasn't. I didn't expect to see her, not here, not tonight, not after everything. Elena? I muttered, barely daring to speak. She turned, her posture perfect, radiating calm authority. Oh, hi, she said, her voice like silk over steel. I felt a strange pull in my chest, desire mixed with old, unhealed wounds. You look different. She arched an eyebrow, a small smile playing at her lips. Different? You mean better? I chuckled nervously. Better, stronger, unstoppable. Marcus, standing beside me, nudged my arm. Go say hi. Don't just stare. Thanks for the advice, I muttered, but I couldn't move. Elena's eyes held me captive, like she could see right through the walls I'd built. Are you alone? I asked finally, stepping closer. For now, she replied. And you? Same. I swallowed hard. Marcus and we came together. Marcus waved from a distance. Go on, talk. I'm not kidnapping you. Elena's smile widened, teasing. You've grown more confident. Maybe I've learned to survive without letting myself break. I kept my tone casual, but my hands were shaking. Good for you, she said, her voice softening. I always knew you'd be strong. I swallowed the lump in my throat. Thanks. I've missed everything. Her eyes flickered, almost guilty. I've missed some things too. I fought to keep my voice steady. Some things, or me? She hesitated, a small pause, but the tension between us screamed louder than words. Some things, she admitted finally. You were always harder to forget than I expected. I laughed, low and bitter. You make it sound like I'm some kind of memory to dust off now and then. She tilted her head, studying me. Maybe you were. But you weren't easy to forget. And maybe I never wanted to. I felt heat crawl up my neck. Desire, old and urgent, gnawed at me. Why now? I asked, voice tight. Why show up tonight? I didn't plan it, she said quickly. Life, it just works in strange ways, doesn't it? I nodded slowly. Yeah, strange ways. Sometimes cruel. She leaned slightly closer, her perfume familiar and intoxicating. And sometimes tempting. I couldn't help the grin that tugged at my lips. Dangerously tempting. Her laugh was soft, low, almost teasing. I see you haven't changed either, still cocky, still wishing I didn't let you go? I finished for her. She paused, her gaze dropping for a moment. Maybe not. I'm not sure. I ran a hand through my hair, fighting the flood of old memories. I was sure when I let you go. I thought I could survive it. But seeing you, I don't know anymore. Elena's smile softened, almost regretful. You were always strong, but sometimes too proud. Maybe that's why we failed. Maybe, I admitted. Or maybe we were just too much of each other. Too intense, too fast. She tilted her head again, eyes locking with mine. And now? And now, I said, letting my voice drop. I'm not sure I want to let you go again. Her lips curved, teasing but serious. Bold words. But can you handle what comes next? I stepped closer, the air between us thick. I think I can. I think I have to. I don't know why, but I can't stop myself. She laughed softly, a sound that cut straight through me. Then maybe fate is giving us another chance. Marcus cleared his throat behind me. Guys, you're blocking the wine table. I shot him a glare, then looked back at Elena. Ignore him, I said, smiling despite the tension. She smiled back, that dangerous, magnetic smile that made every warning in my head vanish. So, another chance? Yes, I whispered, another chance. And in that moment, watching her, feeling the pull of old desire and new tension, I realized something dangerous. Letting her go was never going to be an option again. We stepped away from the crowd, finding a quieter corner where voices didn't carry. I needed answers, and deep down I feared what I might hear. Elena, I began, keeping my voice steady. There's something I need to know. Something from the past. She hesitated, a shadow crossing her face. I wasn't honest with you back then. I felt my stomach twist. Wasn't honest? What do you mean? She looked down, twisting her ring around her finger. I worked with Victor behind your back. I thought it was just business, just opportunity. Victor? I spat the name like it burned. You mean the guy you were always suspicious of? The one I warned you about? She flinched. I know. I thought I could handle it. I thought I could do it without hurting you. But I betrayed you. I chose ambition over us. I laughed, bitter and low. You think just business erases the betrayal? You think I wouldn't feel it? Her eyes filled with guilt. I didn't want to hurt you. I swear I didn't. But I was scared. Scared of failing. Scared of losing what I wanted professionally. I made the wrong choice. I ran my hands over my face, trying to steady my racing thoughts. Do you know how that feels? To find out someone you love, someone you trusted, chose someone else over you? I do, she whispered, almost breaking. I feel it every day. I turned away, anger and longing tangled together in a messy knot. Every day, huh? And here you are walking back into my life, expecting what exactly? I don't expect anything, she said quickly. I just needed to tell you the truth. I let out a harsh laugh. The truth? The truth is a dagger, Elena. You know that, don't you? Maybe, she admitted, eyes glistening. But if I don't say it, I'll never forgive myself. And I can't stand the thought of losing you completely without trying to make it right. I leaned back against the wall, closing my eyes for a moment. Marcus's words echoed in my head. You have a choice. Forgive and risk being hurt again, or let karma take its course. I opened my eyes. Marcus says I should be careful. Says I need to protect myself. She frowned. Marcus? He's your friend, right? Yes. And he's right. I can't let myself be hurt again. Not by you, not by anyone. Elena took a cautious step closer. I get that. I really do. But I'm not the same person you knew. I've learned too. I've changed. Changed how? I challenged. Better at lying? Better at taking shortcuts? Or better at breaking hearts? She flinched, the accusation hitting her like it was meant to. I'm not perfect. I made mistakes, but I've been trying to make amends in my own way. I looked at her, wanting to believe her, wanting to trust her, but my pride and pain screamed louder. Trying? That's all I get? Trying? I know it's not enough, she said quietly. I couldn't let us end with lies lingering between us. I couldn't carry it alone anymore. I exhaled, frustrated. Do you even understand how hard it is for me to stand here, hearing this, wanting to hate you, but wanting you anyway? She swallowed, her eyes softening. I know, I feel the same. Every time I see you, every time I think of what I did, I regret it. Regret isn't forgiveness, I muttered. And it doesn't erase the nights I spent wondering why you left me for ambition, for Victor, for whatever else. I know, she whispered. And I don't expect you to forgive me immediately. I'm not asking for that. I just needed you to know the truth. I wanted you to hear it from me. I shook my head, torn. Truth or no truth, the damage is done. You broke something in me that I don't know if it can be fixed. She nodded, a tear slipping down her cheek. I understand, but maybe we can start with honesty now, if you let me. I stared at her, the ache in my chest growing. Start with honesty? That's a dangerous path, Elena. Maybe, she admitted softly, stepping closer, but it's the only one I can take with you. I clenched my jaw, my mind a storm. Forgive and risk more heartbreak, or let karma unfold and protect myself? Every fiber of me wanted to reach for her, pull her back, and erase the past. Every other part screamed to walk away, let the pain teach its lesson. Marcus, I muttered under my breath. He's right. I have to decide now. Elena's hand hovered near mine. Whatever you choose, just know I'm here. I'm not going anywhere else tonight. I didn't answer immediately. I just watched her, feeling the weight of betrayal, desire and regret pressing down all at once. I never thought desire could feel like fire and ice at the same time, but seeing Elena tonight proved it. "You're looking at me like I'm trouble," she said, her green eyes narrowing, playful but dangerous. "Maybe you are," I replied, leaning closer. "Maybe I like trouble." She laughed softly, a sound that made my chest tighten. "Careful. Trouble bites back." "Then maybe I want to be bitten," I said, letting my hand brush against hers. The electricity between us made my pulse spike. Elena's breath hitched slightly. "You haven't changed. Still reckless, still willing to fall for me even after everything." I swallowed hard. "I can't help it." "You're irresistible." "Even with my mistakes?" she asked, tilting her head. I met her gaze, unflinching. "Especially because of them. It makes you real." She bit her lip, hesitant yet drawn to me. "You make it sound easy, like desire can erase betrayal." "Desire doesn't erase anything," I said, voice low, "but it makes the rest harder to resist." Elena stepped closer, so close that I could feel her warmth. "Are you saying you want me?" I exhaled, letting the truth slip. "I've wanted you since the moment we met and letting you go. It didn't stop me." Her eyes softened and a smile curved her lips. "You're impossible." I grinned, but my heart twisted with conflict. Maybe, or maybe I just know what I want. And right now, it's you. She hesitated, looking around nervously. "What about the past?" "The betrayal?" I shook my head. "I won't pretend it didn't happen, but I can't let it stop me, not tonight. Not when we're here, like this." Elena's gaze dropped briefly. "I don't know if I can trust myself around you." "Then trust me," I whispered, voice thick. "Let me handle it. Let me handle you." She swallowed, biting her lip again. "You're dangerous." I shrugged, leaning even closer. "And you love it." A laugh escaped her, soft and reluctant. "Maybe I do." Then she glanced over my shoulder. "Sophia," she said, almost like a warning. I turned, seeing a woman watching us, neutral but sharp-eyed. "Sophia," Elena greeted, her friend's presence calm yet observant. "Hi," I said, nodding. But my eyes never left Elena. Sophia noticed, I could tell, but didn't interfere. Elena whispered, barely audible. "Ignore her. She'll figure it out." "I don't want to ignore her," I said, low, letting the tension hang between us. "I want to focus on you." She shivered slightly, a soft laugh escaping. "You're impossible," she repeated. "I prefer irresistible," I corrected. Elena bit her lip again, stepping even closer, our foreheads almost touching. "I don't know if I should—" "Then don't think," I whispered, brushing a strand of hair from her face. "Feel." Her breath hitched, and for a moment I thought she might kiss me. Desire roared through me, drowning reason. Betrayal, pride, and caution all slipped away. "I've wanted this," she admitted softly, voice trembling. "But it feels dangerous." "It is," I murmured, letting my hand trace the curve of her arm. "Dangerous, irresistible, perfect." Elena's eyes searched mine, conflicted yet craving the same thing I did. "You're playing with fire," she warned. "And you're the flame," I replied, letting my hand linger. "I've burned before, but I'd do it again." She laughed softly, shaking her head, a mixture of frustration and longing. "You're hopeless." "Maybe," I admitted, "but I'm yours tonight, if you'll let me." Her gaze softened, and she leaned closer, a whisper against my lips. "Maybe I will." The world around us faded, the crowd, the noise, everything. But the pull between us grew. Desire, temptation, and the faint shadow of past pain coiled around us, tight and irresistible. And in that moment, I realized something terrifying and exhilarating. Letting go was no longer an option. Not tonight. Not ever. I found Elena alone in the corner of the rooftop terrace, city lights stretching behind her. The calm she radiated made me furious. Calm, like she hadn't betrayed me. "Elena," I said, stepping close, "we need to talk." She looked up, surprised, but didn't move. "I thought we already talked." "No, not really," I said, voice low but firm. "Not about everything. About choices, ambition, betrayal. About you putting Victor before me." Her shoulders slumped, guilt flickering across her face. I know I hurt you. I can't change that." "But you could have," I said sharply. "You chose your career, your ambition, over me. Over us." "I was scared," she admitted softly. "I thought if I didn't, I'd lose more than just us. I didn't think about the damage I was doing." I took a step closer, fists clenching. "Did you ever think about me? About how I felt? How I trusted you?" "I did," she whispered. I convinced myself I was doing the right thing. I thought I could fix it later, make it right." "Later doesn't undo betrayal," I snapped. "Later doesn't erase the nights I spent wondering why you left me, why you chose him, why you thought ambition mattered more than us." Her lips trembled. I was weak. I'm not proud of it. I hated myself for it every day. I studied her. Every word a dagger and a plea. "Do you even understand what it feels like to stand here, hearing your excuses while wanting to tear into you and hug you at the same time?" "I know," she said, tears glimmering. "I wish I could take it back." I ran a hand through my hair, trying to steady the storm inside me. "Elena, I've realized something tonight. I won't let myself be hurt again. Not by you, not by anyone." Her eyes widened. "Are you saying—" "I'm saying I'm taking control," I said, letting my voice harden. "I've been reactive for too long, letting my heart decide while my mind stayed silent. No more." She swallowed. "Control? What do you mean?" "I mean, life doesn't just balance itself, Elena. I've learned that. I have to make my own balance. Karma, revenge, personal empowerment. It's all on me now. Not on fate, not on you." Her gaze dropped, guilt heavy in her expression. I didn't realize how much you were hurting. I thought my truth would help, but I see now." "You see now that it's not enough," I finished. "Exactly. Because I've been patient, forgiving, hopeful. And you've shown me patience doesn't fix betrayal." She flinched. "I never wanted to hurt you. I thought—" "You thought wrong," I interrupted. "And I can't allow myself to fall into the same trap again. Not with you, not with Damien, not with anyone who tries to manipulate me." Her lips parted. "Damien?" "Yes," I said, eyes narrowing. "The same guy you trusted in the past, and the same guy trying to interfere with me now. You don't see him, but I do. I've learned to watch, to act, to protect what's mine." I didn't—" "Don't make excuses," I said, cutting her off. "I'm done being passive. I'm done letting desire or guilt cloud my judgment. From now on, I act, and I control the consequences." She looked down, the tension between us heavy but silent. "And what does that mean for us?" I exhaled slowly, letting the city lights fill the space between words. "It means I don't know yet. I can't promise forgiveness or trust immediately. I can promise this: I will decide my path, and it won't be dictated by someone else's choices or mistakes." Her eyes lifted, searching mine. "Even if that means pushing me away?" "Especially if that means pushing me forward," I said. "I've been reactive long enough. I need clarity, I need control. And yes, I might have to push you away to find it." She nodded, silent, the weight of our past pressing down. "I understand," she whispered. "And I'll respect whatever you choose." I stepped back, feeling the power settle in me, the storm of emotions inside me quieting slightly. Good. Because tonight, Elena, I start choosing me first. Her gaze lingered on me, torn between hope and regret. Then, I'll wait, she said softly. Not to interfere, but to see where you go. I nodded, letting her words sink in. For the first time, I felt in control. Desire, betrayal, longing, all still there, but now harnessed, not controlling me. And for the first time in months, I felt the shift. I was no longer a victim of my heart or her choices. I was ready to act. I heard about Elena before I saw her. An email from Marcus. She's in trouble. Watch carefully. I didn't need details to know what he meant. She's finally feeling some consequences, I said, leaning back in my chair. Marcus raised an eyebrow. Enjoying it a little too much? I shrugged, trying to sound casual. I wouldn't say enjoying, more like observing. Karma has a way of balancing things. Careful, he warned. Don't let it turn into obsession. That's dangerous. I sighed, rubbing my temples. I know. But it's hard not to notice when someone who hurt you starts stumbling. A week later, I ran into her at a company event. Elena looked stressed, her usual elegance slightly frayed. Elena, I said, keeping my voice neutral. You okay? She forced a smile. I'm managing. Just a lot happening at once. I tilted my head. Everything suddenly catching up to you? Her eyes flickered, almost defensive. Life has a way of doing that. I kept my tone calm. Funny how life teaches lessons when you least expect them. She stiffened, and I knew she felt the sting. The missteps, the overlooked mistakes, they were piling up, all while I stayed grounded. I didn't expect to see you here, she said, hesitation in her voice. I didn't plan it, I replied, but I can't ignore patterns when they appear, especially when someone you care about is involved. Her lips parted like she wanted to argue but didn't. I wondered if guilt or pride held her tongue. Later, Marcus joined me. You okay with this? He asked, nodding toward her. I am, I said. Mostly. I'm careful not to take pleasure in her pain, just watching, learning. Sometimes justice doesn't need my hands, it's already working. Marcus nodded, studying me. I get that. But be aware, she's smart. She'll notice if you linger too long. I know, I admitted. I just can't help feeling the shift. It's like watching a storm she caused slowly unravel. And I'm not the one causing it. Days passed. Elena's setbacks became more visible. A project failed. A colleague withdrew support. Victor's manipulations backfired. I ran into her again at the office, her phone pressed to her ear, frustration etched into every line of her face. Everything okay? I asked, trying to mask the satisfaction I felt. She froze, then lowered her phone. I'll manage, thanks. I nodded, letting a pause hang. You've been learning hard lessons lately, sometimes they sting. But maybe that's what we need to grow. She glanced at me, conflicted. You sound satisfied? Not exactly, I said, meeting her eyes. I'm reflective, watching how choices affect outcomes. Seeing someone realize mistakes can be humbling for them and for me. She looked down, her hands trembling slightly. I never wanted to hurt anyone. I thought I was doing the right thing. I know, I said quietly. Intentions matter, but results teach the truth. You're learning now, and I can't deny that it's stirring something in me. What? She asked softly. Understanding, I said. That balance can come naturally. That people face consequences without me orchestrating it. That karma doesn't need my help, it's already working. She swallowed, and for the first time I saw genuine regret in her eyes. I'm sorry for everything. Not just you. Others too. I thought ambition excused choices. I nodded, letting her words settle. Apologies matter, but lessons stick longer when actions follow them. I can see you're learning, and that is satisfying. At that moment, Isabella appeared, observing silently. You're treading a fine line, she said, eyes sharp. Watching someone's downfall can be thrilling, but don't let it consume you. Obsession is dangerous. I looked at her, taking the warning seriously. I'm aware. It's perspective. I'm not orchestrating anything. I'm simply noticing patterns, learning how choices ripple. And it's teaching me something too about patience, restraint, and control. Isabella nodded. Then keep it balanced. Karma works best when it's natural, not forced. I watched Elena leave the office later that day, her posture rigid but thoughtful. She didn't see me, didn't know I noticed the weight she carried. I leaned back in my chair thinking, I could intervene, I could step in, but I won't. Not yet. Let her experience the consequences, let her grow. Let life teach the lessons I once wished I didn't have to learn the hard way. A strange mix of thrill and guilt pulsed through me. Seeing her stumble wasn't cruel, it was natural. And in observing her, I realized I was stepping into control, into balance, without losing myself. Marcus's voice echoed again. You have power in observation. Use it wisely. I smiled faintly, knowing he was right. Karma had begun its work, and I was no longer just a witness. I was an empowered participant in my own story. I found her on the balcony, overlooking the city lights. The same city where I once let her walk away calmly, where I told myself it was for the best. Tonight, I wouldn't let calm hide my truth. Elena, I said, voice sharp but controlled, we need to end this, or begin something honest. I can't keep pretending I'm fine. She turned, startled, eyes wide. No, I interrupted. Not excuses, not apologies yet. I need the truth, all of it. About Victor, about ambition, about choosing him over us. I need to hear it, and I need to tell you how I feel. Her lips parted, hesitation and fear crossing her face. I thought I could handle it. I didn't want to hurt you. Handle it? I repeated, incredulous. You call betrayal handling it? You call leaving me, lying by omission, handling it? I thought ambition mattered, she whispered. I thought it would define me, and I convinced myself I had no choice. Choice? I said, my voice dropping low. Do you know how that word echoes in my head every day since I let you go? Do you know what it feels like to stand still while someone you love chooses someone else? Her eyes filled with tears, and for a moment I saw the woman I loved and hated all at once. I'm sorry, she said softly. Sorry? I laughed bitterly, running a hand through my hair. Sorry doesn't cut it. Sorry doesn't erase the nights I questioned myself, the pride I swallowed to let you go, the longing I pretended didn't exist. She took a step closer, trembling. I never stopped thinking about you. Every day I regretted it. Every time I saw you in my mind, I hated myself. I believed you, I said, voice tight. I believed that letting you go was best, but I was wrong. And I can't go back to being that man. The man who lets life dictate terms for him. I've grown, I've changed, and I won't be passive again. Her gaze dropped, shame and longing battling in her eyes. You've changed, she whispered. You're stronger, more controlled. You don't let anything sway you. I've learned, I said, stepping closer, letting desire mingle with anger. I've learned that desire alone isn't enough, that love without boundaries is dangerous, and I've learned that I deserve more than to be someone's second choice, someone's placeholder while they chase ambition or greed. Her hands trembled slightly. I didn't realize how much pain I caused. I thought I was doing the right thing for both of us. Right thing? I echoed, voice raw. You don't get to decide what's right for me. You only get to see the consequences of your choices. And I'm standing here feeling every one of them, feeling every ounce of betrayal and every ounce of lingering desire. She shivered, stepping closer despite the tension. Do you want me? I exhaled, eyes locking with hers. I want you. Desire doesn't vanish, even with betrayal. But I'm not that man who'll let desire blind me. I want you, yes, but on my terms, with respect, honesty, and boundaries, not with lies or manipulation. She nodded, swallowing hard. I understand. I wish I could undo the past, but I can't. Can only offer the truth now, and the desire I still feel for you. I stepped closer, close enough to feel her warmth, close enough to sense the tremor in her breath. Desire doesn't erase the past, I said softly, voice low. It can only guide what we do next. And I choose to guard myself first. I choose to be clear, firm, and unshakable. I choose me. Her lips trembled, eyes glossy. You're different. You're not the man I left. You're stronger than I ever imagined. I am, I said, voice steady. And that's why I can tell you this. I won't let myself be broken again. I won't let love alone dictate my life. I've been passive long enough. Now I act. I protect myself. And I decide my boundaries. Tears glimmered in her eyes, her expression raw and honest. And what about us? I exhaled, letting the city wind fill the space between us. What about us depends on your honesty from this point forward. If you can match my boundaries, my truth, my desire without crossing my limits, then maybe there's a path forward. If not, I walk away, calmly this time, but firmly. She nodded slowly, swallowing hard. I can do that. I want to try. I want to make it right. But I know it will take time. I know, I said, softening just slightly. Time and action, not just words. I've learned that the hard way. And now I won't repeat past mistakes. I won't be naive. I won't be passive. I decide. I act. I choose. Her lips quivered and she stepped closer, but I held my ground. I can't undo the past. You can't either. But we can move forward with clarity, with truth, with control. She nodded, whispering, I understand. And in that moment, I felt it, the shift from the man who once let her go calmly to the man who stands unshaken, tempered by desire, betrayal, and self-realization. I had confronted the past, embraced the present, and asserted the boundaries that defined who I was now. I exhaled, feeling both tension and release. Then we'll see where this goes, I said. But I lead. I define the rules. I choose the terms. She looked at me, eyes wide, breathless, knowing the man before her was no longer the one she could control, no longer the one she could bend. And I'll follow, if you let me, she whispered. I smiled faintly, heart steady but alive. We'll see, I said. And for the first time in years, I felt the calm, not of letting go, but of finally taking control. I stood on the edge of the rooftop, city lights below, flickering like tiny memories. Elena was beside me, quiet, not touching, not asking. We had said enough, or maybe too much. You okay? I asked finally, voice steady but soft. She nodded slowly. I think so. After everything, I'm starting to understand. Understand what? I pressed gently. That choices have consequences. That ambition can't excuse betrayal. That sometimes desire isn't enough to fix the past. I studied her, seeing regret, vulnerability, and honesty. You've learned. I see it. And I've learned too. About boundaries, about protecting myself, About wanting someone without letting them control me. She swallowed. I wish I could go back. I'd do everything differently. Maybe, I said, voice low. But we can't go back. We only move forward. And I've realized forward means I lead. I decide, I act, I choose my path. Elena nodded, a tear slipping down. And where does that leave us? I smiled faintly, bittersweet. It leaves us aware. We can try again, carefully, honestly. Or we can part ways, stronger for what we learned. Her gaze met mine, searching. What do you want? I want clarity, I said. I want honesty, boundaries, mutual respect. I want desire, yes, but not blind. I won't repeat past mistakes. You're indifferent now, she said softly. Stronger, more unshakable. I had to be, I admitted. I couldn't be the man who let you go calmly again. That man would have lost himself. I can't do that anymore. Not for anyone. She looked down, voice trembling. I understand. I can't undo what I did, but I can respect it. I can honor your strength. Good, I said, because I won't compromise it. Desire is tempting, but it doesn't control me. I control it. I control myself. She nodded slowly, the weight of truth settling between us. And if I fail? You won't, I said firmly, because I won't allow failure to define me. And if you stumble, that's yours to learn from, as mine is from the past. We each carry our lessons. A long silence fell, filled only by the distant hum of the city. I felt the storm of emotion ease into calm, desire, regret, longing, tempered by clarity and self-respect. Marcus's words echoed in my head. Strength isn't just surviving. It's knowing when to let go and when to hold on. I turned slightly toward him even if he wasn't here. I get it now, I murmured. I can hold on to desire without losing myself. I can forgive without being naive. I can care without surrendering control. Elena watched me, a faint smile breaking through her solemn expression. You've grown into someone I barely recognize, but someone I admire. Thank you, I said. I've had to hurt, to learn, to reflect, and now I'm ready to act on my terms, not just my emotions. She took a hesitant step closer. And can we try? I studied her, desire flaring briefly, tempered immediately by reason. We can try, but slowly, carefully, with honesty guiding every step, no rushing, no illusions. I can do that, she said softly, voice steadying. I want to do that. Then we'll start, I said, letting a faint smile touch my lips. But remember this, my boundaries, my choices, my growth, they're not negotiable. I understand, she whispered, completely. The wind picked up, brushing against our faces, carrying the faint scent of rain. I felt something I hadn't felt in months, a sense of peace, tempered by desire but controlled. You've changed me, she said quietly, and maybe I needed that. You've changed me too, I admitted, but differently. You taught me patience, caution, awareness, and I've learned not to let desire dominate me, to act, not just feel. Her eyes glimmered. I wish I'd known this sooner. Maybe we both needed time apart to realize it, I said, voice soft, to grow strong enough to face each other honestly. And now we can, if we choose. She nodded. Then, let's try, carefully. I exhaled, feeling the weight lift from my chest. Carefully, I repeated. Desire can linger, yes, but it won't control me. Not anymore. I'm in control. I'm aware. And I choose how I move forward. She smiled faintly, almost shyly. I'll follow cautiously. And I'll lead, I said softly but firmly, always with clarity, always with boundaries. Desire can be a guide, not a master. We stood in silence for a moment, letting the city lights witness our fragile truce. Desire pulsed beneath the surface, but it no longer dictated my heart. I had grown. I had learned. I had control. And for the first time in years, I felt whole. Not because she returned, not because desire consumed me, but because I had mastered myself.